So, question one reads: do you think education undermines creativity in young children? My answer is kind of torn on that one, mainly because of the fact that there are many ways that teachers can educate children that help show their creativity, but there are also times where what they are learning and what they are teaching has to be done in such a specific way that it can trump their creativity, and it can make them think like, oh, I have to do it this specific way. I can't put my own little twist on it. And young children, they want to show how they want to do it. At least from my experience, the children that I work with, they love doing their own thing, especially during activity time. They love painting their own little characters. They like making their animals, plants, whatever we are learning for that month in their own way, and that shows their creativity. So I think sometimes education does undermine creativity in young children because sometimes teachers want to be very direct, and it has to be this way or it's wrong or you need to do it this way because that's the right way. And to me, I think that's very, how you say, wrong in a sense, but not really, because yes, children need structure, but they need to show their creativity at the same time and express their personalities in their own work. It's hard to explain sometimes, but you know, when I was in school, we were always taught you need to do it in this specific way because if not, then it's wrong. And that does kind of discourage children sometimes when they're told that what they are doing is wrong, especially when it comes to art and creativity. And it does discourage them, and it does make them feel like they're wrong all the time. And, you know, in my opinion, it's not fair to them. But really, now that I kind of do think it does undermine creativity, because, you know, I just don't think that teachers should be so strict to the point where children can't even put their personalities out there, you know? At least that's just my answer. Question two reads: how do you think play can help children develop the knowledge and skills they need to be successful in school and in the workplaces of the future? Play helps children to develop the sense of teamwork, partnership, and sharing. It teaches the children how to play amongst their peers, how to share, and how to communicate with one another. And in the future, in order for them to be successful in school and workplaces of the future, they need to be able to communicate with their peers and their teachers and or their bosses. I honestly believe that play is a huge part of the development of a child because it teaches them how to communicate. It teaches them how to be their own person and how to use their words with others. In school, they would have to be able to communicate, whether it comes to a project or to talking with a teacher asking for help, or even asking their peers for help or advice or anything like that. And that is a skill that they're really going to need, and especially when it comes to not so much sharing, but more of being able to, I guess you could say sharing, because when it comes to school, not everything is theirs. It's mostly the schools, and sometimes they have to lend something to a peer, or a peer lends something to them, and they need to know that sense that, oh, this is not mine, I need to give it back, or, oh, that's mine, let me ask them at the end of the day if they can give it back to me, please. And including in the workplace, you have to know boundaries, like, oh, this was my property, I need to get it back by the end of the day, or this is not my property, I need to take care of it and return it by the end of the day, by the end of the week, and etc. Another skill that I would say play helps with is just having fun. In my opinion, like expressing your feelings and your persona, because when you're playing, you're being yourself, and you're having fun with your friends, and you are definitely expressing yourself through play. In the workplace and in school, you are not only expressing your personality to those who you are working with and or friends with and talking with at school or at work, but you are also showing and connecting with those around you. And that is a very important skill that children learn through playtime in child development centers and in their classrooms. Question 3 reads, how would you answer a parent of one of your students who asked you if their child is artistic and has talent based on your expertise in the field of creativity? This has honestly never happened to me before, but in this case, I would honestly tell the parent, every child is creative and artistic in their own way. I cannot truly say that your child is artistic and has talent, because every young child is artistic in their own way and has their own talent that they're still getting in touch with. Excuse me. It's hard to explain to a parent, because sometimes they want you to say, yes, your child is artistic and is talented, but in my opinion, that's not the case, because from what I have seen in my own classroom, every child is artistic in their own specific way, according to their personalities and how they are and how they flow in the classroom and how they communicate with the other kids and express themselves. They all have talent, they all are artistic, and I am not the one to say, oh yes, your child is very talented, your child is very artistic, because that wouldn't be the truth. The truth is, every child is talented and artistic in his or her way, and there's no way of telling if they are truly talented and truly artistic at this age, because for me, it's based on how a child reacts to activity time. Sometimes they don't like it, sometimes they really do love it and they just want to make new things. But when they make their own little creation, that's theirs. That's their own piece of art, and that's their little piece of talent that they can get in touch with later on in life. So, when it comes to this question, I would tell the parent, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, every child that I work with is artistic and is talented in his or own way. And their personality comes out whenever they do a piece of art and whenever they show who they are through an activity, whether it be painting, Play-Doh, or even shaving cream. They make their own little creations and they love it. So I cannot say that your child is artistic and has talent, but I can't say that, but I can definitely say that every child is artistic and talented in his or own way. Based on my based on what I have worked based on the children I have worked with, and based on how long I have been working with children. That is all I can really say when it comes to if a parent's child is artistic and has talent.